Alrighty. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. It is now 6:02 PM, and this is a regular City Commission meeting of the City of West Miami. This meeting is called to order. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here this evening in service to our community. We ask for your wisdom and guidance for our mayor, city commission, city manager, and staff as they make decisions on behalf of the residents of West Miami. Grant them clarity, integrity, and a spirit of cooperation. Bless and protect our first responders, military personnel, and all who serve others. May this meeting be productive, respectful, and focused on the greater good of our city. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Item 3, roll call. Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Vice Mayor Ivan Chavez Jr.
Here.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Gustavo Ceballos. Here. Commissioner Victoria de la Torre Gans.
Here.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for May 13, 2026, regular commission meeting.
Motion.
We have a motion. We're sleepy today. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Hearing none. Item passes. Next item, please.
Item 5, public comments.
Anyone for public comments? Public comments going once, going twice. Next item, please.
Item 6, report of the city manager.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor, Commission, residents, and those in attendance. I'm going to start off, well, I guess we're going to start off with my manager's report since it's already up there. Let's go through this really quickly. This is a recap of the first half of the year. We're going to start off by showing that crime has gone down, comparing the first 6 months of last fiscal year to this one. Crime has gone down 63%. Our patrol miles are up versus next year, and our traffic citations are down. Our city budget has been maintained. We've been investing in our officers. We'll talk about, well, this is something that we'll be talking about later on when we get into the mid-year budget adjustment. Let me go on to finance and capital. We've invested more than $2.97 million in capital projects, $1.2 million into water and sewer payments, and our operating expenditures have been $2.02 million. If you look at our community and multi-generational center, that's been an outstanding success. We have been able to grow our senior program by more than 10%. We had our grand opening of the multi-generational center January 24th, and the seniors moved on March the 17th. Our multi-generational fitness center currently has 542 members. New members since March has been 304. The top class to date has been a yoga class that has had 29 members, and we're offering more than 8 classes on a regular basis. Applications and passports acceptance is up 55% year to year. The revenue growth has been over 46%. We've had over 550 photos just in the month of March, and our first 6 months revenue has been $101,000. Communications and community engagement, which speaks to our transparency. Our Instagram growth and membership is up 17%. Our email list has grown by 22%. New followers is 356, and we've had 154 Facebook posts. This is a short little video of some of the things that we've done since the beginning of the year, starting with October with the community center, the farmers market, our Halloween. November, we had a farmers market. We had our Thanksgiving giveaway. December was our very successful Christmas tree and Toys for Tots. They also opened up the dog park. In January, we had breakfast with city board members, our farmers market, opened up the MPC, and then we started our classes. We had Camping Under the Star. State of the City followed in March. And it's been a very robust first 6 months of the year for our city on events. Grants and funding, we have had 17 grants have been secured since 2024. Over $8.25 million in grants have been received, and we have currently 12 active grants. And I'm sure the mayor will speak to some of the stuff that's in the state budget for this year. Permits issued by month, current to very prior year. We are showing an increase from the last prior year to this year from 190 to 244. Inspections are up, but certificate of occupancies are slightly down. Work orders opened and closed. We had over 650 work orders done. It's broken up by the different sectors, and we have had 0 major code violations. Freebie ridership is up. We have had over 7,700 rides. Ridership year to year has gone down, however, and our median rider's age is over 51. Some of the highlights, again, total crime fell 63%. March set a new passport record at 419 applications. 17 grants have been secured. The monthly generational open, and we had over 304 members join in March. Instagram and Facebook has steadily grown, and we've had major capital investments throughout the city. That concludes my part of the manager's report. We're also going to now ask our auditors to come up to the microphone and give an update on our audit from last year.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. And good evening, Mayor Diaz-Padrón, Vice Mayor and City Commissioners and City Administration. My name is Jerry Donates with GEMRT CPA, and I was the partner in charge of the city's audit for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2025. With me here is Mariana Roman. She was an integral part of our team, along with Frances Cabrera-Yek. She's out on maternity leave right now, so she's not here with us. So we wish her the best with her new addition. So I'll just briefly give a summary of the results and so again, this is for September 30th, 2025. First of all, start out by pointing out that this was the first year that the city prepared its financials in the form of what's called an annual comprehensive financial report. It's abbreviated ACFR. I'm sure Cody McCall, the CFO, has presented it before, but so it's a big achievement. It gets submitted to the GFOA, and they can, the city can receive an award for its what's called a Certificate of Excellence Achievement in Financial Reporting. It's similar concept to the budget award just as a reference. So I just wanted to point that out and congratulate Cody for his hard work in achieving this. In regards to the audit itself, the report issued an unmodified opinion, so that's a clean audit opinion. There was a restatement to beginning net position, which was related to two things. There was a new GASB standard, and then an OPEB liability, other post-employment benefits liability that was not previously reported, but that this did not modify the opinion. Other than that new standard, there was no other new policies implemented during the year. In regards to the processes we complete, the testing, analysis, things we request, we did not have any difficulties in dealing with management. Everything we requested and all the questions we had, answers were provided, and documents were given to us in a timely fashion. There were some material audit adjustments that were posted. Last year there was a finding. The finding remained. There were improvements though, and now that's expected that in 2026 it will be corrected. And last year there was a finding related to the budget process. That one is corrected, so that finding is no longer included in this year's report. In terms of some of the balances, fund balance in the general fund as of the end of the year was increased by approximately $2.25 million. The unassigned fund balance plus the funding set aside and committed fund balance for reserves, those two were a combined total of $7.3 million. The total net position in the enterprise funds increased across the board for all enterprise funds, increased about $770,000. There's unrestricted net deficits in some of those funds still, but the sanitation fund reduced its deficit by approximately $135,000. So, and I know the new utility billing system is implemented, the investment spent on that. So, I'm interested in 2026 to see how that improved the enterprise funds as well. Overall net position on a government-wide basis, so that includes, that's where you'll see the investments in the capital assets for the Recreation Center project, water main improvements, things like that. The total net position across the board increased by approximately $5.7 million, accounting for those assets. One quick point, obviously, one hot topic in Florida is the property taxes. You know, that's going to be on the ballot, so I'm sure the administration has addressed this. That's obviously something that the team will need to look forward to addressing, you know, depending on how that goes and assuming if there's any significant loss in revenues related to that in the future. And then lastly, in terms of federal and state grant funding, there was a federal single audit and a Florida single audit. And based on the thresholds of spending during the year, there was one major federal program that was audited and two major state projects. In our testing, on the compliance testing, there were no findings, and the opinion in that report was also unmodified. And so, you know, in a nutshell, that's a quick, basically, overview of the results of the audit. And I'm sure you've seen the entire ACFR. It's about 120 pages. There's a lot of information in there. And we are always available year-round if you had any questions or wanted to reach out for anything. But thank you once again to Cody McCall for pushing the, you know, getting it done on time. And then, of course, my team for getting the audit completed.
Any questions for the Mr. Manager, on the manager and his report, or Mr. Donatis on the audit? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Sorry, no questions, just a couple of comments. So I did want to highlight, I know you glossed over it, but that passport revenue, I know that our IT department had a big contribution to it with their digital enhancements and their payment restructure, so thank you for that. Our senior center as well, the outbound, the homebound meals, there's 100 more seniors now subscribed, so that means that there's 100 seniors in our community getting food. So thank you for that, and also for making the senior center a place that people want to go and take the freebie rides to and to celebrate different events. Our police department, while we were out there during the elections, the perception is that you guys aren't out there anymore as much as you used to be in the past. That presence has gone down, but I wanted the constituents and our residents to actually see that if 61% of crimes have gone down and there's zero thefts in 6 months, that means you guys are out there. You guys are doing the work. So if they're not seeing it, it's because you guys are actually doing the work, so they're not seeing that. So, but I want them to know that that's the numbers. And then our Parks and Recreation, the MGC, that's an astounding number. And I know that that's all work from our grants as well, the 8.25 million grants, $1 million grants that you've secured, Jenny. That's astounding. It's helped the city be able to do things with it, and our commission here that predates me before I got elected, be able to bring great things for the community. So I just wanted to highlight that. And then Cody, congratulations on your achievement as well and the excellence of your Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. Thank you, and thank you so much for a great audit and holding us accountable.
No, you're welcome.
Anyone else? Seeing none? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. That, Mayor, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Yes, that concludes the item 6A, the presentation of financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2025 by City's Independent Auditors, GMRT. Item 7, report of the city attorney.
Nothing unique. I will have a comment or two on some of the first readings.
Okay, sounds good. Next item, please.
Item 8, report of the city engineer.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. My only report tonight is regarding the water projects. So we have on the agenda today the change order for the extension of the Phase 2 project. So we hope to have the contractor remobilized within the next couple weeks and just keep cranking on that. We also re-advertised, or I'm not sure if it got re-advertised yet or is it going to this week for Phase 3. With the revised package, now that we got the funding to extend Phase 2, so the remaining work goes into Phase 3. So that's also in the process. Hopefully we'll have some competitive bids next month and be able to start that project as soon as Phase 2 is over. On the Phase 2 work, once the contractor remobilizes, we're also going to take care of that pending work on 12th Street for the drainage. That gentleman's driveway that we have
Mhm.
pending on the drainage project. So, yeah, we were just waiting for the contractor to get back on site, so we'll take care of that as soon as he's back on site.
What is the design on that solution?
We have a trench drain that we're putting in there.
Mhm.
It's like a slotted drain on his
Like a
driveway.
channel drain?
Yeah.
And
And we actually did one on, I was actually looking around because I know we had done one before on 63rd and 14th, I think. There's a house that has it installed, similar situation.
What's the address of your next door neighbor, Vice Mayor?
11th Street between 61st and 62nd. I can give you the exact address
Yeah,
after the
but
meeting.
please give them the exact address. That I think it's a similar solution,
Okay.
similar problem.
We'll take a
Um,
look. There's plenty of rain over the next 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
we'll have our hands full.
And then are you aware of the issue on 9th Street and 65th Ave?
I am, yes.
What's going on there?
So it looks like there's a property on 9th Street that has some issues there. So the system on 9th itself was never rebuilt. We built the system along 65th that goes to the pump station. So
Mhm.
there are some old inlets and old pipes along 9th Street that were never replaced. So I'm hoping that it's an easy fix in terms of just having to replace a couple drains and connect over to the pump station system.
Yeah, if I can get an update on that, because
Yeah.
I've been on this for a little bit, and I've heard some different things some of them are true, but I just didn't know the outcome of them. That the drains were welded shut because of noise, and we weren't sure if we were cleaning the drains. There's a lot of things,
I'll
but
take a
but
look at that.
yeah, just see what the actual problem is there, because I know you said 65th has the pumps, but it looks like down 9th, this is the only part that gets very flooded. The rest of 9th is fine, 65th is fine, just this pocket, so see what's
Okay.
going on there. And then I haven't personally seen the issue, 10th Street and 59th, if we can see what's going on there.
10th Street, I mean, 10th Street and 59th, we recently
But
did
not 59th on the side of not on the, I'm bad with directions. Towards the trailer park is which way on 10th? That's west,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there we recently
So-
put in a new drain. So you're talking about on
Right,
the east side?
I'm talking about the circle on the east side.
Okay.
I haven't seen the issue personally, but residents are pretty adamant on it. I just, so see what's going on there.
I've seen it there. Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll look at that next. Okay.
All right, that's all I have. Anything from the commission?
Yeah, we have, like I said, there's the next couple weeks looks like it's going to be pretty intense.
Yep.
Rain. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of residents issuing their complaints. So please relay any of that to me, and we'll jump on it.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
if you can address the linear park on 60th and
Oh,
the traffic
okay,
circle
yep.
on 11th, that's something that's been asked of me by the commission. I'd like the city engineer to answer that.
So so that project, the traffic studies were done and approved by the county. The traffic engineer had prepared some concepts, so the next step there is to actually put together a set of construction drawings.
This
put
is
it
for
out to
this is
bid.
for which project? I'm sorry.
This is for 61st Court,
The
between 10th and 11th.
the closure, vacation, or
The-
whatever we're calling it.
The closure of the half street,
Yeah.
and at the end of that street, a little mini traffic circle.
Putting
Right.
traffic
Is
circle.
it looking likely that we will have to do any sort of turnaround or
Yeah,
some
we'll have to have a turnaround, yeah.
a turnaround for a fire truck?
Yes, at the end of 10th Street, yeah.
Is that like a T or like
It's a
hammerhead
T.
or something?
Yeah,
or-
it looks like a hammerhead, basically, yeah.
But that would be essentially the whole street, right?
No, I mean, well,
I mean, I look at our Palma,
it'll
it
be
is what
the
it is,
whole,
but-
it'll be that
yeah.
whole intersection, certainly.
Yeah.
So we're
The
gonna have to get a
the
little
whole-
creative how we work around it.
The whole intersection. I'm sorry.
Oh, 61st and 10th.
The intersection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the actual
So
park would
the actual
be
park would be after
yeah,
the
south of
turnaround.
that.
It would be that
Yeah.
part. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
So we have a concept already that I can show you.
And the concept
Um,
includes the land that is supposed to be dedicated or whatever we ended up with from the trailer park property, or is it
It
specifically
did not.
for
Yeah, it did
it's
not. I
specifically
mean,
for
yeah.
our for
Specifically
the part that we
for the
control?
right of way that we control.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if we have additional land, that's fantastic. But yeah,
No, oh, right, of course. No, I want to get the closure done for the residents already, and then I know that we have agreements in place for building out of the park generally, but
Mhm.
we can get at least some of the park built out already for the benefit. That would be ideal. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Is there no workaround to that turnaround? Because is it because we're doing this now from scratch? Because the dead ends that we currently have in existence don't have turnarounds.
Correct, yeah.
So it's just
So-
because we're trying to do this as a new project.
It's a new project, we have to comply with new requirements, and that's probably the most important one as far as the county goes, yeah. Because the county would have to, the county approved it, so.
Okay, whenever we get those, Mr. Manager, we can send the designs over. Thanks.
All right.
Anything else from the commission? All right, thank you.
Yep.
Next item, please.
Item 9, committee reports.
Anyone for committee reports? I guess I'll take the opportunity. Conference, the end of conference for the state. This was a contentious budget year. The Senate and the House didn't agree on much. And we ended up, I think, pretty good, all things considered. In my last commission meeting, I gave an update that we were getting $300,000 for the rec. We've actually were able to push that after, through the Senate side, and then our state representative closed it out at $600K. So $600K for the rec. We have $100,000 for pump station number 4, and we have $200,000 for the West Miami Senior Activity Center. This, of course, I'll caution you, is subject to the governor's veto pen. So we will be lobbying the executive to make sure that our projects survive, and these will be very important projects for the community. So I want to thank our advocacy teams, and I want to thank, most importantly, our state senator, Diana Garcia, and our state representative, Demi Busata, for their efforts on this. Just wanted to give that update, and next item, please.
Item 10, unfinished business, and this item was referred at the May 13 Commission meeting. Item 10A, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, establishing a bulk waste collection fee schedule, providing for 2 annual bulk waste collection fee waivers for residential properties, establishing fees for additional bulk collections, providing fees for certain special items, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date, sponsored by Commissioner Blanes.
All right, Commissioner, go ahead.
So I think that we have this ordinance straightened out. Mr. Manager, can you please go over the?
Yes, in a nutshell, it's very simple. We're doing 2 free bulk waste collections per year per house. We would like to add a caveat that the maximum will be 10 cubic yards. We don't want to see it taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form. If that's something that we could add, to say 2 free bulk waste collection fees up to a maximum of 10 cubic yards. In addition to those 2 free waivers a year, anything that is bulk related, trees and trimmings and so on, that's less than 2 cubic yards will be picked up for free. Anything above and beyond that, between 2 and 10, will be charged at a rate of $30. And then special items, collections like appliances and furnitures shall be subject to a fee of $60.
Just to confirm, you said the tree pickup, anything under 2 cubic yards, you're
Will be,
limited,
will be free.
so it's not limited to 2 per
It's
year?
not limited, no.
Just making sure.
Anything between 2 and 10 will be free twice a year. Anything under 2 is free all year.
So if you have your lawn service come by and leave a couple of palm fronds out there and a little bit of, couple of bags, we will pick up that for free.
Okay, I know we discussed this substantially last meeting. I know we cleaned up some changes. The commission have any questions, comments, concerns, and/or motions? Go ahead.
Just a point of clarity, so
Oh, sorry, Vice Mayor, and then go ahead. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
just for a point of clarity, the appliances, the furniture, it's $60 per pickup request, but is there a weight on that or an item amount on that? Is that per item, $60 per item?
It's per item.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Hey, Commissioner?
So I wanted to start off to thank Commissioner Blanes for bringing this forward, because we did hear a lot of the residents that weren't aware that the bulk pickup went away. They were complaining about this, but my concern is that what they were complaining about wasn't the tree trimmings. It was actual bulk pickup that was missing. So for example, Miami-Dade allows for a sofa, chairs. Their stipulations are actually 25 cubic feet, and then they could actually compile it to 50. If, let's just say they have a remodel, they want to redo a house, they are able to compile the 2 annual pickups into 1. So I made a mistake and I didn't make a motion, but I did want to make a motion for us to adopt or mimic the Miami-Dade regulations, just because it's something our citizens aren't privy to. They aren't allowed to access the Miami-Dade dumps as everyone else is, and so I think that this is something that we should add to our bulk waste pickup collection if we really want to help our residents out.
Does, I mean, how much do we need to analyze that, Mr. Manager? I don't know what the impact would be on that. I have,
If I understand what you're trying to say is that those 2 free bulk pickups a year that we're gonna be giving can also include what is allowed by Miami-Dade County, up to 25 cubic yards, which is what their standard is. You get 50 a year. So
They do up,
it's one, yeah, but 2 at 25 will get you the 50.
yeah, up
So,
to discussion. We could limit it, but at least that we allow for more than just tree trimmings. And for that, then we would have to expand how much cubic feet we're allowing.
So then, basically, the annual fee, Mr. Mayor, would be each residential unit shall be entitled to 2 bulk waste collection fees, up to a maximum of 25 cubic yards per collection, inclusive of everything except for hazardous materials.
I guess my bigger question is it something that we need to analyze, or is it not a, I mean, no? Okay, perfect.
I don't, Mr. Mayor, yes, obviously it's gonna cost us some money, but we have the funds to be able to do so.
Okay, Commissioner Blanes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, historically, we did not pick up excess garbage. Let's say they remodeled the house, and they have 2 sofas, they have cabinets, they have basically, construction material that they need to haul away. We never picked that up. We really didn't have the equipment, we didn't have the manpower to do it. So I know that at one time, we were able to take stuff like that to the county dump, but now we don't. So basically, it would be up to the, if you want to remodel the house, and you have enough money to remodel the house, then you know what, then you have enough money to rent a big construction garbage container, and you can put all that stuff in there. That's typically what they do when they remodel a house. So I don't know if this is something that it would be prudent to task our sanitation department to do. I don't know if we have the proper equipment to pick these heavy, bulky items. I know that, our sanitation personnel can get hurt. They can hurt their back, they can hurt their arms. And then, of course, there'll be a ramification because of that. So I basically just wanted to have it to where it would be all tree trimming, all the vegetable, from anything from the vegetable world can be picked up, and we have the means to do it, we have the equipment to do it. So, this is something that we can study, as the mayor said, but I don't know if we're in a position, with the manpower and the equipment that we have to do it. So,
Vice Mayor, go ahead. Sorry.
those are my thoughts.
Go ahead.
I tend to agree with Commissioner Blanes, and I get your intent, Commissioner Gans. It's something that the residents are really requesting a lot of, but I agree with the commissioner that if you're doing construction, you have the funding to get rid of the debris and things like that. The issue also is that we're talking about cubic yardage. That doesn't limit the weight of the objects getting thrown out. It can be stoves, dishwashers. this can get to the point where it does get very pricey. And I know that because I had to get a container to throw out these types of materials in the past. So I don't think that it's something that we should necessarily put on the backs of our city and our sanitation.
Can we do this and, what you're talking about, Commissioner, is a new category, right? It's not a category currently contemplated here, right?
Yeah.
Because this is talking about vegetation, and you're
Yeah.
talking about, okay.
And to make myself clear, I know new construction, I'm not talking about construction waste. I'm talking about if you want to throw out your old sofa, get a new sofa.
Right.
You want to kind of like simply remodel that.
So here's what I would suggest. This is a resolution, meaning that we can pass it today. It's not an ordinance that requires us to go back and do a public notice, and considering that you're not asking to change anything that is currently in this ordinance, right? Like, if there was a new ordinance, right, it wouldn't change anything that is currently in this ordinance. It's an add-on. It's something, actually, same topic, but different, but a different rule, right? So, if I'm correct. So what I would suggest is, that we have management study what the actual impact would be. I mean, we're talking about equipment, we're talking about manpower, we're talking about all these things. Let's actually study the proposal and bring it back for a resolution next meeting to discuss it and vote on it. That would be my suggestion, because, you know, I typically don't like to make sort of things that have financial and manpower concerns without talking to the department, you know, and making sure that we're able to do it. I think residents would obviously be very popular. I see the issues as connected, but not necessarily overlapping. So my recommendation, of course, you can always motion it, but my recommendation would be that we pass this resolution as it is, and it was studied, and already management is already okayed, and we've already okayed. Have administration study your proposal, bring it back, so that we know exactly what, maybe the answer is the one exactly as you presented it. Maybe it's a little bit modified, right? To make sure that we don't have a situation where, like the vice mayor said, we have, you know, an overtaxing of something that we didn't contemplate in this 5 minutes, right? So that would be my suggestion, obviously up to you, but my suggestion would be that management look over it and we bring it back next meeting for discussion and vote.
The only thing I want to call out is that there is a special item collection fee for the items that I mentioned. So if someone does want a sofa or anything of that matter, they get charged $60 if we pass this.
Is that a new fee?
No, sir, that's always been on the books. It was,
So that's currently in the books, we wouldn't be changing it, so my concern would be that we change it twice and then start creating, you know, issues and confusion, but this is already in the books, right? So that part is already in the books, all we're changing is the part about vegetation, right?
that's correct. sir.
Okay, so that would be my suggestion, is that we bring it back, that we don't, you know, I agree with you, I don't wanna keep changing things to the point that people don't know what the rules are, but, I also wanna make sure that we, you know, we at least, we study everything to make sure we don't have to go back, because the worst part would be if we have to go back, we put it today, all of a sudden, we didn't realize that all these people were gonna use it for all these different purposes, and then we have to go back and take it away, and that would be obviously something that nobody wants to do. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Manager, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, if a resident wants to throw out an old refrigerator, an old dishwasher, a washer, a sofa, a dresser drawer, you know, they can put it out there and we'll pick it up, and there will be a $50 charge.
There's a charge involved with picking up anything that's not, anything like furniture, like appliances. We do have a charge currently in place for that. I do understand, and obviously you guys are correct. I misspoke. We do need to study this, because it's one thing is one dresser, one small piece, but if all of a sudden we have a whole set of appliances out there, that's a completely different story, right? So that is something that I agree with, that we should have to study and see how we bring that back and move forward.
Look, I agree, I actually, you know, the whole issue about not having access to the domes and all that, I think it's relevant. And I think, I just don't want it to be abused because we didn't put the safety nets in place, to make sure that you know, our manpower can sustain it. So if you're okay with that, I'd like it for administration to study it, bring it back bring the item actually to the next commission meeting. And then whatever, we have to amend the item based off whatever we analyze, we'll amend it at the meeting. But bring the item exactly how the commissioner requested it, unless she chooses to modify it between here and there, based off conversations you have with administration.
Thank you.
And then let's do that, and hopefully let's pass this item. And I know we have someone here from the county, from Commissioner Emiliano Orbis's office. Can we discuss why it is that we don't have access to the dumps? Because I know we pay different, not now, we pay different sanitation fees, but obviously our residents also pay taxes to the county. And, you know, that would be a big help. So we'll be bringing, I'll be talking to you guys, see if we can do some MOU or something, because,
Mr. Mayor?
yeah, go ahead.
Just to be clear, so if our resident, one of our residents wants to put out there, they buy a new washing machine and a new dryer, they can put their washing machine and dryer out there and we'll pick it up. It will be a $100 charge, $50 for each item. If, you know, any company, Best Buy, Costco, whatever, they deliver that new appliance to you and you want them to take away your old appliance, they're gonna charge you. They're gonna charge you at least $50, $75. So, you know, we charge $50 and, you know, that's pretty reasonable, you know, to have that big bulky item removed, so.
Look, let's do this. Are you in agreement?
fair.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank you,
we'll
Mr.
bring it
Mayor.
back next meeting, studied, analyze, however you want to bring it back, the way you presented it or modified, depending on how your conversations go. And then, is on this item, aside from the commissioner's, proposal, is there anything else on this item that needs to be discussed on the item in front of us? Okay, can we get a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion?
Motion as amended with the 10 cubic yards.
Wait, was there an amendment?
No, no amendment.
We added the 10.
There was a maximum that was on the two free bulks, what we would requested was anything above 2 cubic yards, but no more than 10 cubic yards.
Okay, but that's an amendment to this item?
That's an amendment,
Okay.
that's a maximum allowed.
Commissioner, your motion as amended?
Yes.
Second.
Second as amended. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Thank you. Next item.
Item 11, under new business agenda items, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Commission. This office respectfully requests that the commission open public hearings for items 11A and B and continue both items to a date certain of July 15, 2026 at 6 p.m. Due to an issue related to the timing of the legal advertisement process, additional time is needed to satisfy the publication requirements.
Okay,
So I'm
if you can
requesting.
read items A and B so we can continue them.
Okay, item 11A, second reading and public hearing and
Wait,
ordinance.
I'm sorry,
Do-
can I ask something
I-
before
I-
clerk, Madam Clerk?
Okay.
If
for
you
the
have,
clerk.
if you have a, when were they advertised for?
Okay, advertise for the public hearing is what you advertise.
Yeah, but when is it advertised for? It was advertised for today?
Okay, the county changed the procedure and it couldn't be advertised on time, so we couldn't meet the timeline, the proper timeline
Right,
for
so it
this
hasn't been
public
advertised,
hearing.
it hasn't been advertised
Uh-huh,
yet.
so
So we
that's
can-
why.
So we can't continue it. We have to,
You can, I mean.
We have to advertise it,
hasn't-
right?
Hasn't been opened, but you can open and continue because we had a first reading already.
I'll defer to the city attorney, but I don't think we take any action here.
I don't think we take any action. Mr. City Attorney, because doesn't it have to be, we can't continue, continuation would mean that we advertised it and we started it, right? We would just have to advertise it for the second, we don't do anything.
Well, you have an interesting point, but you could open it and just acknowledge that you're going to advertise it for the next meeting.
Okay, let's do that.
Re-advertise. Okay.
All right,
So both items, 11A and B, should I read it, Mr. Attorney, or just, no, I don't have to read it for the record. So,
so what do you want me to do, open the hearings?
No, I don't think that's necessary, although I would like to ask a question
Go ahead.
about B. Let me make sure I have the letter right. That's the board appointments. We could use some guidance, informally or formally, from the commission on the question of whether or not a resident is allowed to serve on two boards at the same time. It has generally been believed that they should serve on one board at the same time, one board at any one time. But that is not exactly clear from any written positions. So at some point, the commission should let us know, or let me know, if you want a provision that says they should serve on only one board at any one time. They can serve on, an alternative would be, could serve on two boards at any one time, except not simultaneously on code enforcement and planning and zoning at the same time. It's just a policy idea to not, or they can serve on any two at the same time.
What I would
Meaning-
suggest is, I don't think we've actually had any written rule. Well, I know for a fact we haven't had any written rule that prohibits members from serving on two boards at the same time. I believe, if my recollection is correct, probably we have two residents that are currently serving on two boards. Not on planning and zoning code enforcement, just on two boards. So what I would suggest is, that we don't necessarily create a rule for, I don't know what we're protecting against there. Except I agree with you that we should not have a resident on code enforcement and planning and zoning simultaneously. But I don't necessarily think there's a problem with a resident, if we have a superstar resident that is doing amazing work. I don't see a conflict between
Well,
two
then,
boards, so.
not being a decision, of the commission tonight as a collective body, but I will provide an amendment for consideration next time that says, a member may serve on two boards simultaneously, but not on the code enforcement and planning and zoning board.
Right, and
simultaneously.
before you do that, and this is not a vote, but does anyone have an alternative suggestion to that?
Well,
just so we get it out there too. Go ahead.
Just as the way it's drafted, it literally says cannot serve on more than one board at a time.
Right.
So
Yes.
we're aware of this. We're proposing that. So why do you need further direction from us if that was the proposal?
Well, it was, I became aware of the fact that the commission may want people to be able to serve on two boards. If the only one board at any one time is the position of the commission, then you'll just adopt it without any amendment.
This was a proposal, but drafted by administration, to my knowledge, not requested by any commissioner, unless a commissioner did request that provision, but it wasn't built in from any previous boards. That was just something that I think likely was put in because of a assumption that it was already the rule or the standard, but I personally don't, I think it's up to the commission to decide who they want to put on these boards. If a member wants to put the same person on two boards, I don't conflict, I don't necessarily see a problem. But maybe you've seen problems before that have come up,
I don't necessarily see a problem. So I guess is code board and planning and zoning our only quasi judicial boards?
The code board and planning and zoning?
Yes.
Yes, those are two different boards, and they have significant policy positions
So
that
the question is,
actually
are they the only ones
affect.
that are quasi judicial in nature, and the rest of them are advisory?
Part of what planning and zoning does is quasi judicial when there's an individual application for a variance and so forth, when it applies to a small number of people. Part of what they do is not quasi judicial, is legislative recommendations in nature. Code enforcement is probably almost always quasi judicial.
Is there any other board that is not advisory? Are all the other boards advisory boards essentially?
Yes.
Okay,
So I guess you could just simply carve it out,
it's quasi-judicial boards.
quasi-judicial boards.
Yeah, so, yeah, so the carve-out would be, that you can serve on, there's no limit to the boards you can serve on, but you cannot serve on two quasi-judicial boards simultaneously. So that would, in our case, today, be planning and zoning and code enforcement. If in the future there was another quasi-judicial board, then that would be included, obviously, and you can't serve on that simultaneously with planning and zoning or code enforcement. Go ahead, Commissioner.
So if you have a code enforcement member that wants to be on the art board,
That's fine,
that's fine?
Mhm.
Okay. Or vice versa?
correct.
Okay.
Are we clear there?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's a request for an amendment which you would
Correct.
consider.
Yes.
Obviously at the time, but that would allow residents to serve on more than one board, but not on planning and zoning and code enforcement.
Correct.
Or any other quasi-judicial board
Correct.
if created in the future at the same time.
Perfect. Okay. Under clerk, guide me through
Oh, wait.
how to move these items. Oh, go ahead,
Sorry,
Commissioner.
I
I
don't-
apologize.
No, it's okay. I had a question for the city attorney. Is there anything written in any ordinance for our boards that talks about what is needed for a quorum?
What was the question?
Is there
Madam?
is there anything written about the quorum standards? How many members in that board meet quorum? Because I know that we got rid of, the standbys,
I
just in case.
No, what is applicable are Robert's Rules of Order, which is always a majority.
Okay, making sure.
Okay. All right, items A and B. Go ahead.
Yes, I just need your consent to advertise these public hearings for July 15, 2026 at 6 p.m.
Yes, okay. Do you need a motion or just thumbs up?
Yes, please.
Can I
Motion.
get a motion? Motion?
Second.
You got a second? All in favor? Did we get a roll call? What do I need here?
Just
No? All in
like-
favor, say aye.
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 Thank
Okay.
you.
Anyone against? No? Thank you. Next item.
Item 11C, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of West Miami, Florida, establishing regulations for swell improvements within public rights-of-way in areas without curbs, providing for permitted permeable materials, providing for engineer approval, and parking limitations, providing that such improvements constitute a revocable license, providing for maintenance and liability, providing for codification, severability, and effective date.
This is a first reading, but I'd like to take the opportunity, if someone has an issue that they feel needs to be amended for a second reading that is obvious to them, say it now. Obviously, you'll have another opportunity at second reading to discuss this, and go ahead, Commissioner.
I forgot to make a motion in this one last time as well, because what I did want to make sure, and I saw the newly updated report, thank you so much for the due diligence and for adding a couple of the stipulations that we were concerned about it being too gray and adding some green to the gray. But I did want to say, did you guys also look into the maintenance and the liability that the residents will have with the trees? Because that's what, right now, is creating the issue that we have with the swales. So I did want to make a motion to amend that we also have something on there that looks into how we're going to help, or how the residents are going to maintain or upkeep with the trees and the leaves that stain.
I apologize for my clarity. What is the liability that you're concerned about?
So right now, what's happening with the swales, the reason why this is even in front of us is because a lot of the greenery, when people plant the sods, it dies, not just from people parking on it, but a lot of it has to do with the trees. So when our olive trees, when they start shedding the leaves, they fall, they stain, they kill off all the sod. So even the residents that have had the good intention of planting the sod to make it green, they end up having to redo it. So I didn't see that in the work that was presented last time about the residents that would have that issue. And regardless of the swale improvement or not, whatever they put there, the trees are still gonna drop the leaves, they're gonna stain, they're gonna make everything that they put there kind of
Right.
unaesthetic, so.
I
just
imagine,
wanna
I
make
imagine
sure
our
that's-
liability is probably limited there, Mr. Attorney. Could you,
The liability of the city or of the resident?
of the city, right? We're talking about this, because
Yeah, because we're gonna start fining people for not upkeeping the swales, and so, you know, I think that that's a good
So
rebuttal when,
the question is, if we allow people to, let's just call it, I don't know, turf, if we allow people to put turf in the swale, and a city tree drops stains from black olive tree or something of that nature, stains from our city tree, and stains the turf, right, damaging the turf, does the city have liability in that moment, in that instance?
I would say with regard to that, no, because the resident who puts in a swale assumes the risk of the normal adjoining trees and normal traffic. I would say, of course, they get a permit under this ordinance. They have to have a permit to put that in. Perhaps I should add one other thing. In the last commission meeting, there was a discussion, but no resolution on how to deal with the uniformity issue. You have a block with maybe 5 houses, and one person gets a permit to put in X type. What happens to the person next door who wants to put in Y type, and then another person who wants to put in Z type? And the commission, my understanding was, generally speaking, did not like the idea that there would be a checkerboard like that along one block, but there was no resolution, like whoever goes first, whatever is approved first is the only thing the others can do. It's a conceptual problem that is still not resolved in any drafts. The question of consistency
Right.
of swale improvements.
So to answer the commissioner's question, I agree with you that I think the city's liability is limited there. But I also agree that if they have to get a permit, it should probably be in the permit application. Does that have to be in the ordinance, or can that just be done at the application level?
Well, when they put it in, they're putting it in under these terms on city property.
Right.
So we can put that in the permit application.
But it doesn't need to be in the ordinance for it
But-
to be on the application?
No, for the city not to be liable
Correct.
for any natural
Right.
damage to their swell material, no, that does not have to be in the ordinance.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Commissioner?
one part of it, and then the other is the upkeep, the maintenance. Are they gonna help with the maintenance? Because it is the right-of-way trees that are contributing to the swale degradation.
I'm sorry, is who gonna help with the maintenance?
Is the city gonna help with the maintenance?
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
I think the intent of this, what we're talking about right now, is not necessarily to give the city directive to go out and start finding people. I know right now, technically, the swales, being dirt and no grass, technically it's a violation, but we're not actively out there, from my understanding, Mr. Manager, finding folks for this, because there are individuals that have issues with, they have too much shade, they have the issues that the commissioner is mentioning. This is more, the design behind this, to me, the intention is to give residents that want to improve their swales more options to do so within the confines of what we allow. It's not necessarily to be punitive against those that can't maintain their swales. So I don't think that your concern is necessarily something that this is designed to go after the residents that aren't going to install these different designs. I think it's just going to be giving folks an option to beautify their swales.
No, but I understand what the commissioner is saying. The commissioner is asking in two parts, if an individual chooses, right now, let's say they have dirt because it's under shade. If a resident decides to put something under our approved list of things, if if it starts getting stained and damaged and et cetera, are we then going to fine them for, I guess, being out of compliance because of the look of the turf or grasscrete, whatever the hell it is? Or, where previously they weren't getting fined and now they have an issue because of the staining, right, or whatever it is. So I think that's where the commissioner is coming from but I mean, I'll tell you, if I knew how to maintain black olive trees to not stain, I would have suggested it too. I don't know that we have a real solution to them aside from replanting the trees, which obviously is not something that's easy. So I do think in this situation that unfortunately it is sort of, you take the risk as a resident when you beautify it, that you know what's there and you might get, the natural elements might get stained, just like it might get stained over time even if you don't have a black olive tree. But I don't know, I'm open to your suggestions, but I don't know what the city could do to really maintain it more than what the city already does. Go ahead, Vice Mayor, and then back to Commissioner.
I guess the point I was trying to make was that, yes, it can get stained, it can crack. That's what we're seeing now with approaches for the driveways that folks have. The approaches are on the swale, they crack, the roots will crawl under them or grow under them. But I don't think that we're gonna be out there finding people because these improvements that they've done have gotten stained or start cracking with roots. At least that's what my understanding is.
The purpose of the swale improvement is so that the people that don't have a nice swale improve it. And so they have to come and get a permit so that they pick whichever one. So, for example, if they already have the stunted growth grass, they would be impacted by this because then they would be out of ordinance once we pass this because they won't have the standards that we're about to approve. So that's my concern. And then if they do it, and then it continues getting stained or it continues getting damaged, what are the costs to that?
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I think the main motivation by a resident to improve their soil is so they can improve it so they can park. Basically, it's a parking issue. If they don't have a semicircle type driveway where they can maybe park 2 or 3 cars, they only have one, then, they're gonna need the swale to park. So, you park on a swale every day, you create damage to the swale. If there's a tree, there's gonna be shade, so the grass will never grow without sun. And, mainly, what you will have is just a bunch of dirt. And then when it rains, you're gonna have a puddle with mud and dirt. So the solution is to allow the resident to address that and within the confines of what we allow them to do. Now, that's gonna get stained, it's gonna get stained. It's, it's inevitable. I don't know, it can be cleaned, pressure cleaned, maybe as part of a condition of the permit, they would have to maintain it, but something more serious would be that if we allow them to put turf, and let's say that a root starts growing and it starts, breaking through the turf, now you have turf and you have this root that's showing, of course that's gonna obstruct them from their parking ability. So, they would have to address that. They would have to cut the root and repatch the turf. We can allow them the permit with a condition that they're gonna have to maintain.
Well, that's both in there. So I'm actually rereading some of this now. Two things. One, Commissioner, to your first point before, Section 7, hold harmless required. As a condition of approval, the property owner shall execute a hold harmless agreement in a form acceptable to the city attorney, which shall be recorded in the public record. So that's your liability question. That's in the ordinance already. Section 5, the ordinance establishes that improvements shall be installed and maintained at the sole expense of the property owner. to ensure safety, functionality, and continued drainage functions. That's under section 5, maintenance and responsibility. So I think those things are contemplated. I think your concern, Commissioner, is more on, the reality of the trees and environment damaging what is installed, but I think ultimately that is the responsibility of the property owner. It is city property that the residents are able to improve at their expense, and they have to maintain as part of that. Look, this is a first reading. Obviously, it's gonna come for second reading, and I'll be honest with you, I do think this item is very, very important. So I'm not even suggesting, I don't want to delay the item, but I'm not even suggesting that this item will necessarily pass by the next hearing. We might have to continue the item, depending on what, conversations with residents after this meeting. But that's noted, so we can look at that going into the next hearing. Is there anything else that we want to point out? Obviously, we don't have to solve everything tonight, because we're gonna have a whole other discussion on this. Is there anything you want to point out? Mercy, is there anything you would like to point out? Okay, is there anything else that in the ordinance that you would like to see or not, or that is in there now that you do not like?
I would just comment that it says as defined, parkway as defined in this section, and I can't find the definition of parkway.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
So, just saying.
We had started with Swale, but we're gonna continue with the Parkway, and we'll add that definition.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else for now? Okay. Madam Clerk, can you read the item so that we can hopefully pass it and advertise it?
I read the item already.
Oh, you read it? Perfect.
Yes.
Can we get a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll, please.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you
Yes.
vote? Commissioner De La Torre Gans, how
No.
do you vote? You
No.
vote
This is on
No.
first reading.
Okay.
No,
But so no.
you
I
vote.
could say that, no.
Yeah,
No.
Okay, you vote no, okay. Commissioner Ceballos,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chavez Jr.,
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes,
4-1, item passes.
thank you. Next item, please.
Item 11D, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, authorizing an amendment to the fiscal year 2025-2026 annual budget adopted by Resolution Number 2025-75 to provide supplemental expenditure appropriations within the General Fund, Building Fund, and Parks and Recreation Fund, supported by corresponding revenues recognized during the fiscal year, providing for an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Mr. Manager, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is our, annually, our budgets are basically created to before the fiscal year commences. And as the year goes along, operational needs change. Emergency repairs may come up. We have increased use of facilities, just like our senior center. We have unanticipated projects that, the commission decides that they want to move forward on. We have equipment that breaks down. And we also have personnel issues. Some retire, some leave, and they have to replace. That all leads to, a budget is a guideline that has to be modified as we go along, and that's what this basically is. Bottom line is, the revenue that has come in is more than sufficient to cover the expenditures that we've showing, and we fully anticipate that to last throughout the whole year. I will highlight, because I was asked to highlight, there are 3 departments that I want to highlight. One's public safety, that they are currently over budget. However, there is justifications for such. One is the retirement of the second in command in October, the unexpected resignation of another officer and his corresponding payout, and overtime for additional community events that were added during the year. Secondly was community development, which is our building and planning and zoning departments. We modernized our permitting practices. We were mandated by the state to offer online permitting, which we have launched, and that was obviously an unforeseen thing beforehand. And we've also have increased inspection and review time so that we can better serve our residents. And that is the bust out in the community development, and obviously the last one's the community center. As we indicated before, we're delivering substantially more meals to our seniors than before. Our membership has grown under an extraordinary amount of new members, and we also had some required infrastructure that we had to purchase for the new infrastructure. We had to, when we started to make the move, we had to buy new tables and new chairs, which the ones that we had before just weren't adequate enough to be able to move forward. That said, revenues and expenditures are in line. We do not foresee any issues in finishing the year, and we'll answer any questions. Our CFO is here to answer any other additional questions.
Any questions for the manager?
My comment was going to be, I mean, those questions were already answered, but I saw that there was a $2.02 million operating cost on your presentation. And I think it's what you mentioned, everything just grew altogether and in an unplanned way. So I think you're doing a great job mitigating with what you have and with everything you're doing, so thank you.
Questions, concerns, comments, motions? Motions, concerns, comments, questions?
Motion.
Motions, okay, good, we like motions.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Thank you. Next item.
Item 11E, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Light Effects Pros as a vendor for the city's 2026 4th of July celebration of the West Miami Recreation Center, contracting with the selected vendor with a payment of $16,500 to be funded by the City of West Miami Enterprise account, requiring insurance and license as required, providing for an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Okay, I mean, straightforward, go ahead. Go ahead,
Motion.
Vice Mayor. Motion,
Second.
we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Next item, please.
11F, a resolution of Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida relating to Parks and Recreation, amending Resolution 2025-51 to approve additional membership categories and reduced membership rates for the multi-generational center, fitness center, establishing membership rates for city employees, senior citizens, veterans, and individuals with disabilities, establishing a family membership option, preserving existing fitness center access benefits provided to senior center participants, authorizing implementation of the updated fee schedule, and providing for an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Who's going to take this one, Vice Mayor? Go ahead.
So the rec board, we discussed this for a decent amount of time, and we wanted to obviously give some reprieve to our seniors. We also want to point out that you can sign up to, if you're 65 and older, right, Mr. Manager? To be a senior center resident. So 65 and older, you can go and you can utilize the gym for free. There's a certain time frame there, but outside of that, we wanted to give some reprieve to our seniors, veterans, folks that are disabled, and to employees. The only thing I want to add to this or get some clarification, it says for immediate family members, so I want to define that specifically.
Immediate household family members.
Okay.
Is that what it says?
No, that would be, we would have to add that word in.
Yeah. So it says immediate family members, so I just wanted to clarify that it was within the household. Because immediate family members could be children outside the household, like myself, that I'm 38 and my dad's a veteran and I don't even live
It
with
would
him.
be
so-
the fourth whereas, whereas the proposed fee structure establishes an annual membership fee of $75 for eligible primary account holders with the option to add immediate household family members for $50, not to exceed 4 members.
Was that the intent of the board?
That was the intent, and it's gonna begin January 1st, I believe. So if you're already locked in, you know, you're paying what you're paying the rest of the year. And it'd be beginning January 1st, and it'd be for immediate family members within the household.
Okay.
A lot of residents have asked us, you know, there's discounts for so-and-so in the house, and, you know, we have husband and wife, children that still live together, so that was the intent with the board. So thank you, Mr. Manager, for getting this together.
Any questions? Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so,
Commissioner.
so let's say an individual with disabilities, what would their rate be on a yearly basis?
$75.
$75. For the whole year.
Currently, resident fee is $300. For a disabled person, it'll be $75.
All right. Sounds
And
good.
we have 542, I think was the number, that I saw they were already enrolled in memberships. So according to the manager, this is something that we can afford right now as a city, and we'd revisit it at a later date if need be.
Let me ask a question. I'm just reading this again. Is this only for residents?
Only for residents.
This is only for residents, I'm sorry.
And it does say
Which-
that, right?
We spoke about it before this meeting, so thank you, Mr. Mayor, for catching that, but only for residents. That's who we're trying to help here.
But that, I'm just reading through the sections real quick. Is that's in the resolution? Or is that has to be amended?
I don't.
I don't see residents here.
Yeah, it would have to be amended to say residents only.
Do we have to add that definition for immediate family member in there as well?
Well, I think the immediate family, yeah, we have to add the definition for immediate family members. And we have to add that this benefit is applied only to residents, that meet the criteria,
Right.
that meet the qualifications.
And beginning January 1st of next year.
And that's not in there as well? Okay. So let's make this very clean, hold on. So number one, we have definition of immediate family member. Number two, we have the residence only clause. And then number three, we have the effective date being January 1st, 2027?
27.
Okay.
Mayor, that's correct.
Okay, so you motioned that, well,
Motion
well,
as-
well, first of all, is there any other comments or questions from the board on this item?
Oh, do we need to add do you have the hours that the seniors could go in there?
Yeah, that's in there. 11 hours.
Preservation of existing senior center benefit, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so this is $75 is for seniors 65 and older that do not or have not enrolled in our senior program, which,
So let me define your motion. You are motioning this item with the following amendments, that immediate family shall be defined as household immediate family, and that everything in this section is pertinent only to residents, and that the effective date of this item shall be January 1st, 2027, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Thank you. Next item.
Next item is item 11G, a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, relating to grants, accepting and approving amendment number 2 to the Environmental Protection Agency grant number 02D48423 for continued potable water system improvements phase 2, authorizing the manager to execute the amendment and all necessary documents, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Mr. Manager?
This is an amendment to the original grant for $3 million that we requested, and they adopted for us, and I have our grant writer here that she can talk about it. The reason for the requested additional funding was, this was a grant that preceded us, and there was a requirement that wasn't disclosed until after the contract was initially given out, which was the BABA Act, which is Build America and Buy America Act. So we were short on phase 1 in completing that phase, and we asked for extra money for that phase, and the EPA granted us that extra money to finish out that phase of the water and sewer, the potable water system improvements.
Okay. Any questions for the manager on that? Go ahead, Commissioner.
So, Mr. Manager, the $750,000, is that grant covered or is it partially on the city?
That's a full EPA grant, and there's no match.
This is the EPA, this is the federal government grant. This is one of the member-directed projects from Congressman Salazar. We don't have a match on this. Typically, those federal grants will have matches, but as part of the, one of the benefits of the census kind of screwing us is that sometimes we don't get access to some money, but we also don't have to match the money that we do get. So it's a double-edged sword. So we don't have a match on this money. Go ahead.
No, I was wondering if there were any questions to elaborate on for you. I think you covered everything.
Any questions? Well, stand right there because, well, I don't think you're not next item. You can go away.
Thank you, Denny.
Do we have anything on this item?
No,
All right,
I move.
you know my favorite word.
Motion.
Oh, there it is. Okay, we have motion,
Second.
we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Next item, please.
Item 11H, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of City of West Miami, Florida relating to procurement, approving and accepting change order number 4 from Magog Inc. for continued work related to the potable water system improvements, Phase 2, project funded through Environmental Protection Agency Grant Agreement 02D48423, authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 4 in the amount not to exceed $750,000, providing for funding, providing for an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Mr. Manager?
Mayor and Commission, this basically goes hand in hand with the other thing. The contractor, McGulloch, was awarded the grant, as the lowest and most responsive bidder for Phase 1. This is an amendment to that contract to allow for the additional $750,000 work, so we can complete that phase of the project in its entirety.
Okay,
Motion.
we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Next item, please.
Item I, resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, amending the regular meeting time for the Code Enforcement Board, providing for a new start time of 6 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m., providing for implementation, providing for an effective date, sponsored by the administration.
I don't know where this came from, but anybody take credit for it?
We had a request, Mayor again, we had a request from the Code Enforcement Board to change the meetings from 6:30 to 6,
Okay.
and so we said we
If
would bring
they're,
it forward.
if they're okay with it, I'm in favor of it. Go-
Motion.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, question, do all the boards meet at 6:30?
What is the standard we have right now? I think they have all different stuff. What is the planning and zoning?
Planning
Were you
and
guys
zoning
roll
means
planning and
We
zoning?
were at
was?
6:30, but I wonder if
6:30.
Mercy would want it to be moved to 6 too. As a member, I would have appreciated it.
You would have wanted 6?
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
don't
look,
know if there's
again, it's a
motion to-
resolution. We don't have to, it doesn't really change much if we bring it. Let's poll the planning and zoning board. Let's see what they want. I don't care what time they meet. It's probably better for staff if it's at 6. Commissioner, you were on there. Do you have any comments on that? Okay. Eh?
The rec board.
Correct, which means, so let's poll them. I don't necessarily care when they meet as long as it's convenient for them. 6 is still convenient for residents. 6:30 doesn't matter to me. So let's poll them, and if it's convenient for them, bring it back as a resolution. But this item in front of us, do you have any other comments on this?
No.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Does it have to be, a set time?
I think we do have to have a set time for.
We do have to?
Yeah, you have to have a set time for notices, because this is a board that provides notices, right? Yeah, so,
All right.
anything else?
No. Motion?
Oh, there it is. Motion,
Second.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Hearing none. Next item.
Item 12, consent agenda items, none. Item 13, good of the order.
Anyone for go to the order?
I do have a
Go ahead.
comment to make, especially with our increased social media presence. I did want to see if we could start utilizing it as a board, to spread awareness a little more, to be able to provide a platform for our constituents to be able to get updates, get information in a more relevant manner. So I just wanted to see if that was okay with my fellow board members, and see if we could start implementing a little more of our Instagram presence.
I would encourage you to work with Rebecca, and that's, you're absolutely there to work with you on that. Anything else? 2 things real quick, pertains to the branding board. I know that I've talked to some members, they have a lot of ideas that I guess they put on hold during the elections or whatever it was. And I would like to start seeing those ideas coming and coming to life a little bit. So if we can start getting them in front of us and moving some things forward as it pertains to the branding of the city. And then the art board, I've talked to some members of the art board. I would like for the art board and its advisory function to come up with a survey of the city as it pertains to where public art should be placed in the future, and a priority list of where should be the next areas where we have public art, so that we can start sourcing, you know, in a more informed manner, and obviously different art works in different places. So instead of just kind of picking spots out of random, let's have our you know, who we consider experts in our community, you know, actually tell us where they should go and where the next one should go. So I would like to direct the art board to do that for us. Anything else for go to the order? Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Hurricane season just started, and we've talked in the past about community emergency response teams or CERT teams, just to see if at some point we can put a notification. And we've spoken off the record about this, but just put it out there and get this team going now that hurricane season is upon us.
That's funny, because that's what I wanted to start utilizing the Instagram too. Maybe we could open up like a live command center for Ed to be able to communicate with the residents. I think it'll be very useful for them to get real-time information. So piggybacking on your hurricane preparedness.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I do believe we need volunteers to make these teams up, so if on social media, we can advertise for volunteers to be involved and contact the city.
You're saying in regards to CERT? You're saying in regards to
Yes.
CERT? We're on that, right? Okay, let's make sure that we get it out there. Do you want to say something too? Alrighty, there's no more items on the agenda. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.